Got a great show for you lined up today. It is definitely a good pairing, and it is, as I mentioned when I shouted out that I was about to go live, uh, it is wishing for summertime. That's what I called it. That's because I am right now. We are hours away from White Death 2026 hitting us. Winter Storm Fern, or whatever this one is called. Yeah, I'm ready for summer. So anyway, I am, I'll talk a little bit more about that as I get everything done. I am pairing today just some standard Buffalo Trace Kentucky Straight Bourbon with an Alec Bradley Caribbean Cask. That's where the wishing for summertime comes in. Yeah, you know how I am about the beach and the Sticks-n-Stonez Southern Command down on the Gulf Coast. Let's go ahead and dive right in. I call this classic Kentucky sweetness meets rum-kissed tobacco. I would really venture a guess to say that there is nobody watching this that hasn't tried Buffalo Trace, or at least heard of it. But if you haven't, now's your chance. Buffalo Trace is, I mean, it's a flagship Kentucky straight bourbon from the historic Buffalo Trace Distillery in Frankfort, Kentucky. Crafted from a low-rye mash bill and aged in new charred oak. It's known for its balance and approachability and that classic kind of bourbon profile. If I look like I'm slumping a little bit, it's because it's cold out here. It's in the 40s. And it does really punch above its price point. I got this fifth at my little secret spot for $24.99. You don't get much lower than that unless you're drinking rock gut. So, you know, let's go ahead and get some glassed up here. I hope that came through on the microphone really well. That's what I was shooting for. For a little extra because it's cold out here. I need something to warm me up. Warm those bones. All right. Visually, beautiful, classic Kentucky straight bourbon. That really nice kind of medium golden amber kind of color, just a hints of orange in it, maybe a little bit of copperish looking hues in there on the nose. You get lots of vanilla bean. Love vanilla bean. Love vanilla. Love vanilla bean. Love everything about vanilla. You get just those real sugary notes of like caramel corn, candy corn. It's got a little caramel mixed in there with it because you know sometimes you buy the bag and it's got a bunch of different kinds of candy corn, like caramel candy corn and regular candy corn and you know whatever. So this is a little bit of all of that. And it's got some really, really great legs to it. I really love Buffalo Trace. It's one of my favorite bourbons, and because it is the quintessential Kentucky straight bourbon. They know how to do it right, and if you don't have it on your shelf, you should have. So, on the palate, I get notes of toffee and brown sugar, like some ripe orchard fruits, kind of like apples, pears, something along those lines. There's a nice, gentle cinnamon spice to it. I think I forgot to mention there's also some baking spices on the nose, so like cinnamon, clove, nutmeg, that kind of thing. It's light though. There's not a lot of it. There's also a little bit of light oak in there. Um, yeah, that warms you up. It really does. Um, it's got a kind of a medium length finish. It's very warming with some lingering sweetness and a little bit of toasted oak. It is just a wonderful bourbon that, as I said earlier, definitely hits above its price point. That's for sure. Now, the Alec Bradley Caribbean Cask. The Caribbean Cask is, I'd say it's more on the budget end of cigars. So we'll start there. You're not going to pay a whole lot of money for it, but I've smoked several of these. It's a great cigar. I do love having it around. Uh, it's a really nice smoke. It features a blend of Central American tobaccos that are aged in rum barrels. That's where the Caribbean Cask comes in. It's really designed to kind of bring forward a sweetness and an island influence without overpowering the tobacco core. Um, it's a cigar that is built around its accessibility and the infusion of flavor rather than strength. So it is a, like I said, medium body that really anybody that, if this is your first delve into cigars, it's not a bad place to start right there. Lighter wrapper, a little milder on the milder end. Um, anyway, visually, it's a beautiful stick. It's kind of I don't know, medium tan, light tan, somewhere light to medium tan. Um, it's slightly rustic. You can tell it does have some veins that are pretty visible. They're fairly prominent. It has tight but almost invisible seams. It has a very large double cap, and it's got a little bit of a sheen to it, a little bit of an oil sheen, and there could possibly be some notes of tooth in here as well. On the nose, the first thing I think of when I put this to my nose is a barn full of sweet hay. I grew up in the country farm. Had my grandfather had cows and all kinds of stuff, and always had he had a barn that was just full of hay almost all the time, and that's what you think of. Mm. But under that, you get a little bit of molasses um, and some kind of dried fruits, and then just kind of a faint rummy kind of note. Let's go ahead and give this a cut. It is a little sweet too. Oh, and don't do that when you're in the cigar shop. I do this at home, uh, especially if you're using their cutter. You'll piss some people off if you do that. They don't want your slobber on their cigar. So if they wanted that, they'd ask you out on a date. All right, cold draw. I get some very pleasing, trying to come up with a better word than that, but there's some wonderful notes of brown sugar, and then a little bit of cedar in there, some light spice, and there's a very nice subtle sweetness. It's on your palate as you're doing the cold draw, but it's also on your lips. Mm, very nice. Now, what do I do with my lighter? There it is. That is a mouth-watering experience. No lie. I got to kind of wipe it off a little bit. And that's what she said. All right, back to it. Back to your regularly scheduled program. Yeah, I wasn't really sure how to approach that. Off the light, I'm getting some nice notes of like a toasted cedar, some caramelized sugar, a little bit of mild spice. Um, it's it's a very mild to medium smoke, um, and it's not a large smoke producer. So uh, I know some of them are smoke monsters. I always try to kind of warn people when I'm smoking a cigar. Yeah, this one puts out a great amount of smoke, or this one puts out a lot of smoke, or you know, this one so far is not like that. Could be the weather. We're going to see as we go along. Nothing wrong with it, but all right, let's try them together. That really does go together very well. The Buffalo Trace is kind of vanilla forward sweetness and kind of soft spice, align seamlessly with the Caribbean Cask's more rum influenced profile. The bourbon kind of amplifies the cigar's molasses and brown sugar notes, while its oak structure kind of kind of reins in that infused sweetness. It really does help kind of keep the pairing balanced. Um, Neither one really dominate the other. Um, the bourbon remains the classic Kentucky straight, and the cigar is very approachable. Together, they really do create a really relaxed kind of dessert leaning kind of experience. It's a really good cigar. Not too sure about that. Could be me. We're going to touch it up and see. Kind of straighten it up there. A lot of times I am not the best of lighters, and I'm not using my Rocky Patel Envoy today. We'll see how it goes. Now, looks like we've added quite a few people here in just the last few minutes, so I'll kind of go over where we've already been. Those of you that have already heard all this, just hold on. Buffalo Trace. People that don't, if you don't know Buffalo Trace, you've been under a rock. Um, it is the Buffalo Trace Distillery, Frankfort, Kentucky. This is a low-rye mash bill that's aged in new charred oak, and I mean, it's known for its balance and its approachability, and it really does hit above its price point. I bought this bottle just a week or two ago for $24.99. I mean, you can probably get plain Evan, the base Evan Williams or base Jim Beam for around $15, but can't beat it. Um, the nose on the spirit gives you some vanilla bean, some caramel corn, some kind of light oak, and a little bit of soft baking spices. The palate has a really nice combination of toffee and brown sugar with ripe orchard fruit like apples and pears, and some soft baking spices in there. It is a medium length finish that does really warm your mouth. Gives you kind of a lingering sweetness with a little bit of toasted oak there. Uh, Wonderful spirit. I mean, it is. I've actually got two bottles. I've got a small bottle. I think it's a 375. I think it's half this size. It's still got a little bit in it, but I'll pour out of my full fifth into the small bottle. Put it in my little carrying case thing for all my electronics for this deal, and I'll take it to the cigar lounge. Bottle fits right in there. Put a couple of old-fashioned glasses in there inside Crown Royal bags, because Crown Royal bags can be used for just about anything. I've got toe straps rolled up in them in my garage. But anyway, so I put glasses in there so they don't break, and go cigar bar or cigar lounge, because it's I don't know about where you're from, but where I'm from is BYOB, all you want. So they'll even give you sodas. Now, on the Alec Bradley Caribbean cask, this is a very budget-friendly cigar. Um, it's a blend of Central American tobaccos that have been aged in rum barrels, and it is designed to have a very nice sweetness and an island influence without overpowering that core of tobacco. Uh, and it's built around its accessibility and those flavor infusions rather than strength. And sorry, I've got a fire going here in front of me, my little thing, and my fingers are cold. So uh, uh, the wrapper is, light tan. It is, it's got quite a bit of veining on it, comparatively speaking, and some of the veins are fairly pronounced, but it's great construction. And there's no way that I wouldn't walk in and pick one of these up. I mean, to me, there's nothing that is a put off. The nose gives you some really nice sweet hay notes and some molasses and a little bit of dried fruit and a faint rumminess. Um, and um, you get some wonderful notes of toasted cedar and caramelized sugar and a little bit of mild spice on the palate. These two go together very, very well because they are both very approachable. Um, the vanilla forward kind of sweetness in the Buffalo Trace with that soft spice kind of aligns very seamlessly with the Caribbean Cask's rum influenced profile. Uh, the bourbon kind of amplifies the cigar's molasses and brown sugar notes, while its oak structure kind of reins in the infused sweetness. Um, and that kind of really does keep it balanced. I think if you had a spirit that was any more kind of harsh or stronger, or however you want to say that it would probably overpower the cigar. Um, and when you're looking at a cigar like this, it's very mild and very approachable. You always want to make sure that you're not knocking out all of the flavors that you're getting out of the cigar with a spirit that's too strong for it. I mean, too strong for it, not a contrast. I mean, completely just, you might as well not even be smoking a cigar. And that was me. As you can see now, we have a fairly nice straight burn line. So it was my lighting. Here's what it is. I really believe if you are somebody that is uh, either just getting into the cigar and spirits thing as a pair, um, or you're getting into it completely new, not really been doing much of either one, this would be a good place to start. I always tell people, especially when you're dealing with cigars, start with the training wheels on. Don't jump out and get a dark, musty, wonderful cigar, because it's probably going to overpower you. Um, Start with a light wrapper. Lighter wrappers tend to be on the milder side. You could even go, this is like a Toro, a 6x60. Uh, I would start at something along the lines of a Robusto, 5x50, somewhere in there. I'd have to go look and see if this is actually available in anything other than the Toro size. But even at the Toro size, you'd be fine. Just make sure that, it's kind of the old saying of puff, puff, pass. Yeah, just puff, puff, hold every 30 or 45 seconds. Think about it a second and then let it out. Can't be any easier than that. Because if you're constantly, like people do cigarettes, you're going to end up overdoing it and you'll wind up queasy. Take it from an expert. I've been there more than once. Matter of fact, one of my favorite manufacturers has one particular cigar that I love the flavor of the cigar. I love the aroma of the cigar, but it has a super, super easy draw on it. I mean, too easy, almost like you're not even drawing through a cigar. And every time, because I'm used to having to, puff on a cigar, every time I've smoked one, I've overdone it and I've been like, oh, for a little while. I just stopped smoking that one. It was just that cigar. I've smoked other cigars from that manufacturer that were longer, that were fatter, that were stronger. That cigar. So, you know, I am going to keep this kind of short. Not going to keep y'all very much longer because I know, like I said, White Death 2026 is about to hit and we're all going to die. Um, and so I know you got things to do. I got the generator ready in case we lose power. I went and bought, I didn't buy any milk. We already had milk. But I have a particular kind of tea that I like from one grocery store. It's their brand, so nobody else carries it. So I went and picked up a couple extra gallons and got some fire still in my fire pit here, just in case we decide to get froggy and come outside. Uh, but picked up stuff to make chili, picked up stuff to make beef stew, all those kinds of comfort foods when it's cold and you can't go outside. Uh, you know, and I have an amazing, amazing cook for a wife. She's amazing at basically everything. Uh, but she's a really good cook. And that's why I really have to watch what I eat. I've lost 60 pounds since 2023, but you got to really watch because she can, you want to go back for seconds or thirds. I'm like, I can't. She's got to keep it, and she's an excellent baker. Cakes, pies, cookies. She doesn't buy cookie dough. No, no, no. You break out the flour and the sugar from scratch. That's the way she learned how to do it. That's the way she does it. There's not a lot of women around like that well, maybe under 50, especially under 30. I know my oldest, not maybe got a couple of things she can do, and she just picked those up here recently. But the two younger daughters, she's been teaching them right. One of them's a good cook, and one of them's a good baker. Those are two different things. Baking to get your cakes to come out just right and your cookies to come out, all that kind of stuff, it has to be precise. And we've got one that's really good at that, and one that not so much. But tell me if I'm wrong. Even if you have a great cook, she's probably not as good as her mother. My mom was she's a good cook. She doesn't really cook anymore. But my father passed away in 2003 on my birthday. Um, and so she really doesn't cook much anymore. But when I was growing up, Thanksgiving, Christmas, we go to grandma's house. They sat and watched grandma make dressing. Nobody could make dressing like grandma. Nobody. Nobody I found can make dressing the way she made it. And they watched her every single step she took, and they still couldn't recreate it. My wife's mom's the same way. watch her make something, and still, it's just not. It's not the same. It's good, not the same. But I don't complain. No, I enjoy it. We're doing a pretty decent burn on this one. We're probably a third of the way through, something like that. Probably need to be getting off here pretty soon. Don't want to keep y'all forever. It is a Friday. I'm actually surprised. I'm really surprised and grateful for all of you folks that are on here watching me live on a Friday. That must mean that there's a lot of people that's not working, like me. I took the day off. Yes, White Death 2026. I was going to have to be in the office today, and it's a 60-mile round trip. I'm like, no, I don't know. They can say it's going to start this time. I don't know that. I'm like, I got 100 and something hours of vacation. I'm just going to take a vacation day. So, got it. Use it. I think we've had a few more people hop on since I started. We're pairing Buffalo Trace, just the standard Buffalo Trace, with an Alec Bradley. I keep making sure I don't say Alex because that's how I started. Alec, ALEC, with a Alec Bradley Caribbean cask. Buffalo Trace, it's the oldest distillery in the country, been around since like 1794 or something like that. And it is a low-rye mash bill that it's $24, $24.99, what this fifth cost me. So it's very affordable, and it really punches up above that. I mean, it punches like twice that price. And I mean punch, I mean delivers. It's got some great vanilla bean and caramel corn, and a little light oakiness and soft baking spices on the nose. And then it's got some very wonderful notes of toffee and brown sugar, and then ripe orchard fruit like apples and pears and the like, with just a little bit of like gentle cinnamon in there. The finish is a medium length. It's warming. It's got kind of a little lingering sweetness in there with a little bit of toasted oak. Then you've got the Caribbean cask that is Central American tobaccos that have been aged in former rum barrels. So that's really designed to draw out the rumminess from the wood in the barrel, which helps kind of bring in a sweetness, kind of that island influence. Sorry. The cigar is really built around its accessibility, its approachability, and its flavor and fruit infusion rather than its strength. Uh, it gives you some wonderful notes of toasted cedar and caramelized sugar and a nice mild spice. He hears me, or she, whatever it is. I'll go ahead and start wrapping it up here because we're about to hit 30 minutes, and I try to keep it that or less. So as we've gotten kind of closer to the midpoint, that rum sweetness has really kind of emerged more with molasses and baking spices and some roasted nuts. Um, um, the As far as the pairing, this is really an easygoing kind of crowd pleasing pairing. That whether you are an old hand or someone new, you could really get into this pairing. I mean, it's kind of fun and funky and different, but not in a bad way, in a good way. You've got a very traditional bourbon character that is complementing the modern kind of rum touched tobacco, and it's great for just kind of a casual evening with a sip and a smoke. Uh, and I guess you could say it could be an introduction to infused cigars. I like smoking coffee infused cigars. Uh, I've even made my own. Um, and so it's a great change of pace. But this is a cigar that you could smoke just about any night with Buffalo Trace or any, you know, spirit that is on that kind of mild or medium, not overpowering kind of spirit. Really could. I hope you've enjoyed this pairing as much as I've enjoyed bringing it to you. Please hit like, subscribe, share, notify, ring all the bells, blow all the whistles. Leave me some comments. Let me know if I'm on the right track or if I'm completely off, because cigars and spirits are very subjective. So um, keep up with me on Instagram, X, not so much Facebook, uh, and Threads. And be sure to leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think of the show. I've been at it for starting to approach 6 seasons now. So I really enjoy it. I'm about tired of fighting all the social media crap with, trying to monetize all that kind of stuff, because I don't know, anyway. But I also have subscriptions on YouTube and X and Rumble. So if you are watching on any of those, feel free to subscribe. Um, and I also have, like, on X, buy me a coffee, that kind of thing. Feel free. Helps the show, keeps me coming back all the time. Until we get to be together again, keep your sticks dry, your stones cold, but yourself warm. Have a good day.